Hey boys and girls, today we are on Module 11, Lesson 2. We're going to be dividing whole numbers by unit fractions. By the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to represent division of a whole number by a unit fraction using visual fraction models and equations. Okay, so this is just like we were doing before. We're just going to use fraction models, for example, this number line, and equations to help us solve our problems. Okay, so number 1 for the step it out says that Kat and Ann complete a new obstacle course. The course is 2 miles long. There is an obstacle every quarter mile. How many obstacles are there? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and state out my WIC. Remember, I want to remember that dividend divided by my divisor equals my quotient. Okay, and I'm bringing back something that we worked on when we were working on division problems. We're going to use it here to help us with our information. So my total amount here is going to be my dividend. Okay, my total amount. Is my total amount the total miles of the course, or is it the amount of obstacles there are in every quarter mile? If you said 2 miles long, you're correct. The total length of the entire obstacle course is 2 miles. Therefore, the total amount, is 2 miles. Okay? What is my number of groups? What am I cutting it up by? Well, this obstacle course, for the entire length of it, of the 2 miles, every quarter mile, there's an obstacle. So every quarter mile, it's being separated or stopped or interrupted by an obstacle. So that means my number of groups depends on how the amount of space there is between each obstacle. And then finally, the amount in each group, that is what we're looking for, okay? I'm going to say P because that stands for the number of obstacles, just as they told us in Part A later on, okay? So I'm just going to put P because that's what we're looking for, P. And I'm just going to put in my notes, number of obstacles, okay? All right. So now what they want us to do for Part A is they want me to go ahead and model the situation with an equation, okay? Just like our objective told us we're going to be doing. We're going to be working with objectives and visual fraction models. So it wants me to model the situation with an equation. Let P stand for the number of obstacles. Well, I just said that my dividend is 2, okay, to represent the 2 miles. Then I'm going to divide, okay, because I am dividing up my entire course by the number of obstacles. And I'm cutting it up every 1/4 mile, okay? That is my divisor. And like they said, they want the number of obstacles to equal P right now because that is what we are looking for. We're trying to figure out how much is P, okay? Finally, for Part B, it says represent the division equation on the number line. So that's the second part of our objective, using visual models. So this is my entire number line. It's split up into 1, 2. This 2 represents the number of miles. So how does the first bullet for Part B ask us, how does the number line represent the dividend? It represents, okay, I'm going to try to write this in shorthand. It reps the 2 total miles of the course. 2 miles of the course. Okay, if you want to give a more full answer than that, you may. It's just very difficult for me to write on here with the mouse pad. Okay, and now I'm not done. I have to represent the entire division equation. So the 2 is already represented for me. Now to show it being divided by a quarter. So that means I'm going to cut up each of these miles into quarters. So I know about half is going to go here. Okay, so I just split this up into 4 pieces. This is my 1/4. This would be then my 2/4 is next. Okay, notice I'm keeping them all the same denominator. This is my 3/4. This, if you want to rewrite it, you can say 4/4, which is 1. This over here would be my 5/4. Or you could say 1. I'll put it up here. You could say 1 and 1/4. Okay. Over here would be my 6/4. Or you could say 1 and 2/4. And over here would be my 7/4. Or you could say 1 3/4. And then finally you could say 2, or you could say 8/4. Okay, and that represents my divisor in this. Okay, every fourth of a mile, it is cut up. Okay, so part B says represent the divisor on the number line. I just did by cutting it up into fourths. I drew tick marks and I labeled them with fractions. Okay, and now it says represent the quotient. How do I represent the quotient? I count the number of fourths that there are in the 2 whole miles. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many obstacles does the course have? 8 obstacles. Okay, because that is how I represent the quotient in the picture. I count the number of tick marks that were made to represent every quarter or fourth mile. Okay, so there are 8 obstacles. You're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing with problem number 2 on the next page. Here it says Kat and Ann practice the rope climb at the obstacle course. The rope is 3 yards long, and there's a knot every third yard. How many knots are there? Go ahead and take that information and put it into your own total amount, number of groups, and number of each groups. Okay? Again, it wants you to go ahead and model the equation over here. Use the number line to represent the division equation that you wrote for part A. Make sure that your answer is K, as it's written out. Over here for part B, it gives you 3 bullet points to help you draw out your line. The first one says represent the dividend, okay, the total amount, by drawing and labeling the tick marks, just like how they already did it for us in problem 1. They gave us our dividend. Okay, they started with 0, 1, 2 to represent the 2 total miles. Here, you're going to have to figure out what your dividend is and draw that many tick marks and label it. The second bullet for part B says represent the divisor by drawing and labeling the tick marks. So what is your divisor? Divide up each of those holes by that many, and then represent the quotient by counting. Finally, how many knots are on the rope? You'll get that answer once you count all of your tick marks. And then it wants you to write the related multiplication equation you could use to solve the problem. So they didn't have us do that for part 1, but question 1, I'm gonna do it for you now so you can see what that looks like. So for here, we wrote the division equation, but if I wanted to go ahead and write the multiplication equation, it would look like this. I would keep my 2, okay? I would change my sign to multiplication. I would flip my 1/4 to 4/1, okay? I would just put this as 2/1, just so now I can multiply. I have 2 fractions. This 2/1 is still 2. 2 times 4 equals 8. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And 8/1 is equal to 8. So as you can see, I still ended up getting the same answer at the end. Okay? Dividing 2 divided by 1/4 is the same exact thing as doing 2 times 4. Okay? We keep the first fraction, change the sign, and flip our second fraction. All right? And then finally, you can go ahead and complete the check understanding, where again, it wants you to write a division equation to model the situation, then complete the number line, and write a related multiplication equation to solve the problem. All right? As always, boys and girls, if you have questions, comment below, and I will see you today at 11:30 to ask questions on the WebEx. Bye.